Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. I wanted to take the time to show you how to buy tomato and pepper transplants. Right now, if you're going out to the big box stores or you're buying transplants, sometimes they're a little bit beat up. You can get them on sale. These are ways, or I'm going to show you ways that you can save these plants, how you might plant different tomatoes in different stages. Some of them are going to be really tall and lanky and beat up. Other ones might look perfect. We'll go over the right type of pepper transplant to buy, tomato transplant to buy, and then we'll also take a look at cucumbers, squash, and other summer crops. Lots of bargains can be found. This is how you take care of those plants. Let's start with selecting the right tomato transplant. Cool thing about tomatoes is they're vines. So you can pretty much save any type of tomato plant that you buy. Sometimes the nurseries are selling them for like $1 or they're giving them away, or you're a little bit late to the game and what's left doesn't look that good. So if your plants are looking yellow or purpley, they probably need to be fed. A water-soluble fertilizer will take care of that. This is what a healthy transplant looks like, in my opinion, and this is what I would recommend. Roots are just starting to come out. They're not fully coiled down there. Nice upper green growth. No disease on there or anything like that. The plant doesn't look stressed. It's not yellow. It's a nice balance between the root size and the upper green growth. This is a Brandywine red, and this is what you're really looking for. When you're looking to get that first tomato plant, this is a perfect transplant. Here's another example of a healthy tomato plant, and when you're out, you can pop the plant out, and it's not too coiled. The roots are starting to get, pretty big in the container, but still in a good place. Good balance between the root ball, the upper growth. It's nice and green, very dark. You can remove some of the bottom leaves. Color looks good. This is a transplant that I think is great to go into the ground. In my past videos, I was talking about, the size of the transplant, putting the root ball in just to about here to keep them in the warmer part of the soil, that top 2-4 inches, 5-10 centimeters. When you're going from the cooler temperatures of spring into the summer, you're putting your tomatoes out early, you want these roots to be in that shallow portion of your soil because the sun will warm it up. Warm roots means the tomato's going to grow. If you put this down too far in the ground, like sometimes we say, plant this deep or something like that, that works. I'll talk about that in a second. But when you're going, from early spring when the ground is cold, that's not going to help the plant. Because a lot of times when these plants get too big, they're on sale, it's summer, so to speak. It's really warm, the soil is warm. So we can plant them a little bit differently. So it's May 23rd. The soil around here is really warmed up. It's at that 65-degree Fahrenheit at that top 2, 4, 6 inches. The right warmth means the roots are going to do their thing. And again, the cool thing about tomatoes, as I was saying, is they're a vine. This plant is really, overgrown. And if you tried to plant it just to here into the ground where my fingers are, you'd have to stake this up, and you got a plant that's really just long, kind of gangly, and isn't the best. When you have a tomato plant that gets too long, because it's a vine, we can plant it on its side. So this would go about 4 inches deep into the soil. You just want to cover the stem all the way up under my hand, maybe 2 inches, 4 inches of soil. And all you're planting is this part. Everything else is going to root out. Remove the leaves if you want. You just break them off. It would look something like this. And you're basically rescuing this plant so that, let's take this one off, so that this whole stem is buried on its side, 2 inches, 4 inches deep, and then all we're growing above ground is this portion. Roots are going to come out all along here. Here's an example of what root nodes look like. So this plant beat up even more. That's not a disease. When plants are underwatered, underfed, the bottom leaves give up their nutrients for the upper growth. That's why the upper growth is darker green. So these plants are going to look beat up at the leaf level. So there's no disease on there. We would remove them. Here are root nodes. All these bumps, let's see if we can get it into focus. All these bumps are root nodes, and roots are going to come out. When it's humid, you're watering a lot, you may see these form on your tomato plant, and it's not some weird disease or any issue. It really just wants to send out roots in the ground. So when a tomato plant flops over, this contacts the ground, it roots out, grows into the ground, and it kind of sprawls along your garden. Another example, this plant, you may not want to buy this thinking, it just doesn't look good. Again, goes on its side, we bury all this, and this is what's going to be above the ground. It's going to turn into a great plant. To help these plants along, just hit them with a water-soluble fertilizer as soon as you get them into the ground. Day one, water-soluble means the fertilizer is going to be available to the plant immediately. The nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. That will help them green up, that will help them grow. And then for all the plants that you're getting, because they're transplants, you want to water every other day for about 10 to 14 days. This is where I'm picking the tomatoes from, and a lot of them look pretty good. One more plant to look at. We have this plant that has a lot of growth on there. Now, these are plants that I'm selling with a friend at a plant sale today, actually, and we did it twice this year as a test run. We're going to open up this whole nursery next year full time, and I'll let you know about that. So I know how these plants have been taken care of. This guy's nice and green because we just watered it about a week ago with a water-soluble fertilizer. So the leaves look healthy, but the plant is starting to flower, and you don't really want that when you're buying your transplants. So this guy, perfectly fine to buy. You find one that has a lot of flowers, remove them before you put them into the ground, because you want the plant as a transplant going into the earth, establishing the roots, getting roots ready to support great upper growth, and then when it's all kind of in sync, the flowers are fine after that. So I do remove the flowers. Next plants I'm going to look at are the pepper plants. And it's similar to the tomatoes. These aren't vines, they don't grow like tomato plants. But you do want to get them when they're smaller. So this guy's a little bit windblown when I was bringing it over here. So it looks a little bit beat up, but it is actually a good pepper transplant. Nice and green, no flowers, very few roots coming out the bottom. This is kind of the balance that I'm looking for. Root system that's reached the bottom, ready to expand, upper growth, nice green leaves, forming more leaves right in there, and it'll be fine. It'll be a perfect transplant. When I plant them, plant it to about this depth. The other peppers have been here for a while. We just fed them. This guy's all beat up, really from the 90-degree weather we had last week. The watering was not really missed. I mean, we watered a lot, but when it gets hot like that, these plants can dry out very quickly and may have to be watered twice, even 3 times a day. So when you're getting a pepper plant that has leaves that look like this, not a disease, nothing to worry about, good upper growth, you can plant this, hit it with the water-soluble fertilizer. This plant's going to be perfectly fine. And a lot of the plants look like that. They've been in here a little bit too long, but they're going to be okay. They're sending out new growth, green, good to go. What you don't really want, here's some jalapenos, are peppers that are starting to flower, because all their energy is actually going into fruit production. And you can see a jalapeno there. These are my oldest plants. They've been growing in there well past 12 weeks. Lots of flowering. They can be saved. What you would do is simply buy this pepper plant at a discount. It's going to need some water-soluble fertilizer. Let me get this where I want it to be. Remove the peppers. Remove the flowers. And then you're going to plant this to about here. Some roots actually come out of a pepper plant when you bury some of it. And you're going to have a pretty nice pepper, strong stem, split to a Y shape. Actually 3 kind of main stems coming out there. And this plant's going to do nicely. But you definitely want to remove the peppers and the flowers when you have a plant that's been growing in here too long. If we pop out the roots, let's see. This one I already took out, so it was easy. It's starting to get root bound. That's how you can tell it's a little bit past its prime. But it's sending out a lot of side shoots, starting to flower. Remove the flowers, loosen up the root ball, get it into the ground, hit it with a water-soluble fertilizer. Peppers, tomatoes respond really well to the water-soluble fertilizer. Again, there's some in there. You want to remove those. Yellowing plants can be fixed by hitting them with a water-soluble nitrogen. That's going to green them up real quickly. If the plants look, really yellow, not the best. Hit them with a water-soluble fertilizer, tomatoes and peppers, when you plant them, and about 7 to 10 days later, hit them again with the water-soluble fertilizer. That will really help them establish. Keep the fruit off there, keep the flowers off there, and they will take off, establish, and with the warmth of summer fully approaching and that soil warming up, they're gonna grow really, really well. Just another example of what I consider a pretty much perfect pepper transplant. This one, nice and green, starting to grow out of the joints, which is great. It's gonna get nice and bushy. Not too tall. Good size, roots to plant. Same thing right here. This is a bell pepper. And this whole batch of green bells is actually timed just right. I think these are about 8 weeks old. Perfect for your pepper transplants, not flowering, not overgrown. Wish we would have sold more, but they look pretty good. So I'll be taking these back to my garden and doing a whole row of like 8 to 12 green pepper plants. I'm not a big fan of buying stressed out or overgrown squash, cucumbers, zucchini, even melons. It's just not worth it. By the time the plants look something like this, they're already trying to flower, form fruit, and yeah, they can be rescued. Remove the flowers, get them in the ground, hit them with the water-soluble. They may take a while to really establish and start growing because they're trying to create flowers and fruit, and they're going to be like kind of like bonsai plants. They've just been in there past their prime. So I would actually pass on these. Let's check out the cucumber plants. So this is a bush variety cucumber plant that I'm growing, and they're a little bit young. About another, I don't know, week or so, I'd let them grow, continue to grow in this container. If I bought them, again, I would let them grow in the container. I just want them to get their first true leaf, you know, something like one of these leaves coming out so that they're a little bit bigger, better roots. The cucumbers here are getting past their prime, but they haven't flowered yet. So I would take a chance with these, and they look pretty green. I know that I just actually fertilized these. Usually when you're at a big box store and you're buying something like this, they're not getting fed. So this plant would be all yellow. It would look terrible. If a cucumber plant, zucchini, squash, something like this, a little bit oversized. I don't know what the roots look like, but yeah, starting to coil, getting too big. These would still be okay because there's no flowers on here. They're not trying to fruit yet. So I would just take this, loosen up the roots, get it in the ground, hit it with the water-soluble, they're good to go. But if this guy had flowers, fruit, I would skip it. Reason being is the watermelon too, right over here, cucumbers, squash, summer squash. Now that it's warm, you can just put a seed in the ground. It's going to germinate in 5 to 7 days, establish amazing roots because it has all that space, and the upper growth is just going to take off. So when you're buying transplants for the cukes, the zukes, all that, you're buying them so you get about 4 weeks of growth. I just did a video on that. I will link it in the video description on the perfect squash transplant, perfect cucumber transplant. You're growing them to get a jump on the season. So you get them into the ground when it's warm enough, but they've already been growing about 4 weeks, and you do get squash, zucchini, cucumbers a little bit early. But if it's later into the season, you're like stressed out because maybe your cucumbers died out, your zucchini died out, the plants don't look the best, skip them. Just buy some seeds, plant your cukes and your zukes directly into the ground by seed, and you'll have a good experience. I want to thank everyone who came out to our plant sale. Again, just FYI, we did 2 Saturdays, test run of plants, gave a lot away for free, and really kind of figured out what do we want to grow next year, how many tables are we going to have, and starting next April, Erica owns the property with her husband, we're going to have this nursery set up. We're going to have about 16 tables, all kinds of herbs, flowers, and vegetables. And we really just spent the last 2 weeks figuring out how we're going to do this. Generally speaking, we're going to be selling the plants for about $3 each, 10 for $25, 20 for $40. And I'll be, sending all that information out. But it was a really good experience. Got to meet a lot of people, enjoyed talking about the garden. Plants look healthy. acclimated to the Maryland area, so you can't really go wrong when you're buying from a nursery that grows their own plants, because they're going to be ready to go out, into the ground, and they're used to the temperatures. Again, thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. I sell tomato and pepper seeds, $1.75 a pack. All other seeds are only $1.50. All right, see you all next time.